That's right, it's Mr. Mustache himself, Mr. Magnum P.I. versus an army of Roombas. I'm talking about Runaway. Runaway is a movie from 1984. It is written and directed by Michael Crichton. Of course, Michael Crichton being the author of Jurassic Park, also responsible for stuff like The Andromeda Strain, Sphere, a couple other things that I obviously should remember but don't right now. Flash them on the screen here, after I do some research and, I'm better prepared. And of course, Tom Selleck, Magnum P.I., right? Well, he's Magnum P.I., and some other stuff. He was Quigley Down Under. He was one of the three men with that baby. He was also... having some trouble here. Anyway, but you know who Tom Selleck is, right? The mustache guy and the Hawaiian shirt and Magnum P.I. Okay, well, he's pretty much that here. Except, on the cover of the box here, he's got like what looks like a future suit on, some kind of armor or something like that, and he's got this big future gun right there. This outfit that he wears here, he wears for about 5 minutes at the beginning of the movie, and that's about it. But this movie is not very futuristic at all, but it is a sci-fi, and it is set in the future. It doesn't specify when, but I'm guessing, this is 1984, it's supposed to be a few years in the future. And it's a future where, of course, we rely on robots. The movie I, Robot, where the robots, they look like people? Well, that ain't this movie. Because these robots, they look like boxes. Most of them, anyway. They look like boxes, but they've just got, one mechanical arm that, grips stuff. And these robots are trained to do, everything for us. All those menial tasks. And, we've already got that with the Roomba, right? But, no, these robots, they can plow the fields, they can, harvest the crops and stuff like that. They can clean up your house and fix stuff around your house, and all of that one weird arm. I don't know. Anyway, some of these robots go rogue. Sometimes it just happens. Randomly, a unit malfunctions, and Tom Selleck is a police officer that deals specifically with rogue robots. And he runs the Runaway unit, and he goes after robots, and he understands how robots can think because they're just programmed to do whatever and all this. At the beginning of the movie, first of all, he gets a new partner, the very attractive female partner right here. Her name's Cynthia Rhodes, by the way, the actress. Anyway, the two of them, they have to go rescue, some farmers that have a rogue harvester that's, running through the cornfields, and it's a chase through the cornfields and stuff. And the only sci-fi that you're really seeing is this is box going through the cornfields, and they have to track it down or blow it up or deprogram it somehow or whatever. And Tom Selleck does this, and this is the exposition scene. This is what he does. Here's his new partner. He gets to explain some of his backstory and blah, 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 whatever. But there's a scene right after that where a robot actually kills people. And it looked kind of weird, too, when they get to the scene of the crime. Apparently this robot, just a house robot or whatever, shot two of its family members. Tom Selleck has to put on his, super future suit and get his future gun out and get in there, hopefully not get shot by this robot as he goes in to rescue this child or whatever that's still trapped in the house. It's well directed and it's well lit and everything. This scene of Tom Selleck stalking this robot and trying not to be detected and everything. And then you go around the corner and you see the shadow of the robot go by the door. It's ooh, making it all spooky. And then you get a wide shot of it when Tom Selleck is actually trying to take the thing down. It's a box with an arm on it with a gun in his hand. Hey man, it's 1984. What do you want, right? And then there's micro robots, which are actually you know, big as a Furby or whatever. But they're like little spider bots, and they actually like kill people. Like they have like needles in them and stuff, and shoot darts and stuff. It gets kind of silly, but not really, you know, because like this was made in 1984 and it was written, I guess, you know, 83, 84, whatever, by Michael Crichton. I think he's pretty good at like taking like a scientific concept. Yeah, maybe he doesn't know everything about it and he can't explain all the science behind it, but he deals with the implications of said science. In this case, household robots and robots that we trust with our lives and things like that. They did a pretty good prediction of how things would play out and how people would take advantage of that, how some people would use it for good and some for evil and whatever. Oh, speaking of evil, of course, I can't talk about this movie and not talk about the villain, Mr. Gene Simmons, the Demon, from Kiss, of course. This is post-makeup Kiss. I mean, this is when now we know what Gene Simmons looks like, right? His only previous acting experience, at least in a movie before this, was in Kiss Meets the Phantom back in the 70s, in full makeup and everything. I think they dubbed his voice in that one too for some stupid reason. But in this, he's actually pretty good. I think he plays a good villain, ruthless businessman kind of guy, but he's also kind of psychotic and, you know, wants to kill people and hurt people and use these robots, his army of killbots, I guess, to go out and kill people. There's a couple other notable actors in here too, one being Kirstie Alley. This would be like, for her, I guess, post Star Trek 2 and pre-Cheers. She's kind of a villain, kind of not. She's like the, you know, the flippity-floppity, you know, I'm a bad guy, but I want to help now. This movie as a whole doesn't really have a futuristic feel to me at all. It's just like, well, this could happen like next year. Like, you know, robot revolution, somebody programs robots to do this and blah, blah, blah. But it was exciting. The action scenes were pretty good. And I gotta say that I've never really been a fan of Tom Selleck, but I've never not liked the guy. He was pretty good in here. You know, professional actor, I think. And the story is fine. And there's a couple of pretty good scenes in here, actually. Gene Simmons has a weapon, it has tracking bullets, which they're programmed to hit a specific target, like the heat signature of said target. Basically, if he's in a crowd and he wants to shoot Tom Selleck, he just dials in Tom Selleck, I guess, or whatever, and then boom, and then the thing follows him everywhere. And like the camera work, like it shows you the bullet cam, like from behind the bullet, the bullet tracking shot, and it looks pretty neat. And that's a kind of a neat little sci-fi thing, I guess. Well, I guess another futuristic scene, not a very good one, but would be where the bad guys break into Tom Selleck's house, and Tom Selleck has this like robot babysitter, which it looks like a mini fridge with blinking Darth Vader lights on the front of it, and it has like this lady's voice, and it takes care of the kid and puts him to bed and cooks dinner and stuff, and it's just a box that, you know, wheels itself around the living room or whatever. And but people break into Tom Selleck's house and they damage the robot and they like knock it over or whatever, and who knows, but in any case they come to the aftermath and they're like, oh my god, the robot's down, and they make this dramatic scene of this mini fridge laying on its back with the lights just barely blinking and the thing can't even speak because it's so damaged. Tom Selleck's like, oh, I don't know if is she still with us? And his partner says, well, I'm not sure, she's leaking a lot of hydraulic fluid. Yeah, that one got me. That was kind of unintentionally funny, I think. In a movie that's full of cliches, it fits. Yeah, and then there's a showdown, a finale with Gene Simmons and Tom Selleck at the end, and Gene Simmons gets like electrocuted, and then he dies. And then there's a fake jump scare at the end where he's you thought he was dead, but he's back, whoa, and it lasts like 2 seconds and he dies again. The fake out death. And that's pretty cliche. But speaking of cliches, of course, at the end of the movie, the climax of the movie, Tom Selleck's new partner, who is now his new romantic partner, and his child have both been captured by the evil Luther, and they've been taken to this construction site and whatever, and that's where all this stuff takes place. But once they deal with Luther and he's dead and the threat is over, then suddenly the kid comes in. He says, "Oh, I love you, Dad. What a great job you did killing those robots," and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, the female cop is there too, and he's like, "So, are we gonna be a family or what?" Or something like that. And then suddenly the kid gets whisked away by like a police sergeant or something like that. And the two characters finally get a full romantic kiss, and you know, the kid's nowhere to be seen, and they zoom out, you know, and there's like sparks going off. It's this construction site, and they're having this romantic kiss, whatever. And it's like 2 minutes with credits rolling by. No kid in sight. Fuck that kid. Who cares, man? Got me a new mama. Here you go, Magnum. Anyway, I don't know. Runaway, it was okay. You know, I was expecting it to just be so fucking stupid. I mean, it wasn't that stupid, but there were some stupid things in it. But I was overall pretty entertained. I mean, I thought it was a well-made movie. Apparently it was a box office flop, and it cost like $30 million or something, and I don't see where all that budget went. But it was okay. You know, as a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say it's a good movie. So I'm going to give it a B. Tom Selleck was good. Gene Simmons was good. The story was good. The special effects were... you didn't get much. Okay, so that's one of my bigger complaints, but I'm still giving it a B. You can't take that away. So until next time, have a good one, everybody.